Good evening and welcome to your Thursday, October 17, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Gerald Bryan. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Government will not cover up your misdeeds. VP as SOCU probes alleged crimes against BRUTUS. JAGDEO raps Jordan for taking credit for PPP'S one-off $100,000 cash grant initiative. $100 million in losses as fire destroys bond on ESSEQUIBO coast. BERBICE men charged for killing pet dog. And Guyanese PREITY KUMAR launches book on violence against women. Now for the news in detail. Vice President Dr. Barett Jagu has stated that the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic Administration will not tolerate corruption and has warned that it has no intention of covering up the misdeeds of persons who may think they are closely affiliated with officials in the government. JAGDEO made the remarks whilst responding to questions concerning the active investigation by the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, into alleged financial crimes committed by Senior Police Officer Calvin BRUTUS. Here is our lead story tonight.
It is alleged that Deputy Commissioner of Police Acting Calvin BRUTUS reportedly deposited $15 million into his account at the Police Credit Union on December 15, 2023. The money was allegedly returned to him the following day, and the source of funds was given as contributions from before, during, and after his wedding. The white-collar arm of the Guyana Police Force, the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, has been probing the matter since July and has since recommended several criminal charges against the senior cop. On Thursday, Vice President Dr. Barett JAGDEO made it clear that government will not condone any acts of corruption.
We support the police force. We support the leadership of the police force. We support them to do their work, but they must comply with the laws of this country. The PPP will not tolerate corruption in the police force or anywhere else. And when we find corruption in the police force or anywhere else, there will be no attempt to cover it up. So if you believe that you have a special relationship with the government and that we will, pursuant to that relationship, cover up your misdeeds, you have it wrong. You don't know the PPP.
BRUTUS, who had been on administrative leave since July, has recently filed a constitutional motion against the government, claiming that the executive is influencing the course of the investigation, something which the vice president dismissed.
When this matter surfaced, the opposition was saying that these individuals or this particular individual was linked to the government of Guyana, and they did not trust that there will be an impartial investigation. We made it clear at that time that the investigations would be professional and there would be no interference from the executive to steer the investigation either way, and that the chips may fall where they may. He is now saying we are influencing it to lay charges against him. We have no interest whatsoever in that. But if you did illegal things, you will face the consequences. And from all that I've read, that a lot of wrong things took place. A lot of illegalities took place. Trust me, our affidavit to respond to those charges may not be beneficial to the particular individual, because we will go into great details about what our findings were in the procurement system. And so when he was heading the administration of the police force. So further, I don't want to say anything on the matter. And let me also make it clear here today that this government never sanctioned a policy where private individuals and businessmen could pay for the birthdays and weddings of policemen or other public officials. In fact, we think it's reprehensible.
Meanwhile, the files from SOCU's investigations are currently with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for legal advice on the way forward. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
Vice President Dr. Barett JAGDEO has criticized former Finance Minister Winston Jordan, who sought to take credit for the $100,000 per adult cash grant recently announced by the People's Progressive Party civic government. In fact, the Vice President reminded that Jordan had previously expressed that he is opposed to such cash transfer initiative. Let's have a look.
If it is a case where you're saying everybody in the population must get a transfer of cash and so on, I can tell you that will never fly.
You hear? He just said if it is that everybody in the population would get a cash transfer, that will never fly. Jordan, the Minister of Finance under APNU, talking about this. And today, they're claiming credit for it.
That was Vice President Dr. Barett JAGDEO at his press conference on Thursday, discrediting attempts by former Finance Minister Winston Jordan to claim credit for the $100,000 per adult cash grant initiative. JAGDEO pointed out that the People's Progressive Party had promised a cash payout to Guyanese citizens since in its 2020 manifesto, something which the APNU-AFC coalition had opposed.
They said, oh, now cash transfer is their idea. Since when that is a unique thing? It's in our manifesto from 2020, you see it here, to Guyanese, and particularly some groups. We started off with the particular groups by our children, giving them more money first. We started off with the elderly, those with disabled. And now we're having cash transfer to a larger group of Guyanese.
Following his announcement of $200,000 cash payout per households last week, President Irfan Ali on Wednesday announced that this initiative will now be revised to $100,000 per adult Guyanese. According to JAGDEO, this revision was done to avoid the complications that came with defining a household.
So we told Finance Friday to start relooking at the issue. I saw Jordan on Sunday. No doubt somebody from Finance told him we're reconsidering it. So Sunday he said, oh, I suggest that you go to 100,000 now, as though it's an original idea. The same man who said it will never fly, you heard him, will never fly under the APNU, never get it. I suspect somebody told him that. The government is reconsidering it to change it now. He claims credit for it. APNU is saying, it's our great idea. They are the idea now, you know. I don't give a damn about APNU and their idea.
The Vice President believes that the new requirements put in place is a much fairer system.
As the President said, we want this to be fair. We want to ensure that it's done transparently. We want to have an easy way of verifying people. We know who our adults are. We can prove who are adults, and we can prove that they're Guyanese. And those are the two criteria, Guyanese and adult. Those are simple things to prove because we have documents to prove that, and then we can pay people the money. So you can avoid duplication and all of that. Some people claim, it's fairer too, because if you have larger households, they'll get more. But I know maybe single parents, they may be affected a bit in the adverse way, but this was never intended as just for support for single parents. It was cash to help households.
The cash grants will be issued by checks, but special considerations is being given to hinterland beneficiaries who do not have easy access to banks. Meanwhile, JAGDEO said the government will also have to consider whether prisoners will benefit from this initiative. Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
The highly anticipated Gas to Energy GTE project, which is expected to deliver cheaper, cleaner, and more reliable power to the national grid by April 2025, will create a lucrative market for regional and international businesses to establish artificial intelligence (AI) data centers in Guyana. Trisha Sobers has the details.
President Dr. Irfaan Ali announced on Tuesday that government strategic policies are aimed at integrating energy infrastructure, addressing gaps, and achieving key targets. One major target is adequately utilizing the power from the national grid to supply the AI data centers, which are facilities equipped with a vast amount of computing resources specifically designed for AI workloads and provides the infrastructure necessary to train and deploy complex machine learning models and algorithms.
Gas resource as a regional asset, whether it's for expanded energy needs. And for us in Guyana, the first gas to energy power plant that we are building, we are already out for the second one. Because we understand, and we are already seeing, that the demand is going to outstrip, the growth is so enormous, that the demand is going to outstrip that, especially when you're going to cut the cost of power by half. Everybody will go on the grid. But importantly, we have said that there is an opportunity now with competitive energy prices, not only for manufacturing and industrial development, but for data centers, especially the AI-driven data centers. We know that there's enormous gap as to where we are now and where we ought to be. But we have canceled out where we ought to be. And we are focusing on where the world will be in 2030. And we are applying the rationale that we'll build for where the world will be in 2030 as against where we ought to be, and then working backwards and bringing the population up to speed with that. So we're adjusting in real time the gap, the digital gap, the technology gap, the infrastructure gap, the human potential gap, within the next 5 years, getting to 2030.
The head of state explained that strengthening policy interventions as a collective will play a crucial role in closing technological gaps and ensuring that the young population is prepared for the digital era.
In this region we are located, we are very close to strategic important partners. Partners that share the same values with us also. And let us look at what is happening with some of those partners. In the UK, 25% of the population are considered youths today. That's 15 to 35. 27% in the US, and 26% in Canada. In Guyana, it's 40%. If we are able to position our market and marry our energy capacity with data centers, AI data centers, then we are bringing 2050 technology here in 2027. And we're positioning the country as a new nerve. We're creating a new nerve for strategic development and investment.
Located at Wales on the west bank of Demerara, the Gas to Energy project consists of a natural gas liquid facility, a 300 megawatt combined cycle power plant utilizing the rich natural gas that will be piped from the Stabroek Block offshore Guyana. This highly anticipated project will not only see Guyana transitioning to a cleaner source of energy, but also slash electricity prices by half when it comes on stream next year. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
The second annual Business and Investment Conference targeting members of the diaspora has been launched and will officially kickstart tomorrow. Michael Henry tells us more.
The second annual Business and Investment Conference will be held at the Guyana Marriott Hotel in Georgetown, commencing October 18. This 4-day event is set to give interested persons insightfulness in the realms of doing business in Guyana whilst uniting the diaspora. Speaking about the opportunities this conference will present, Stacey Mollison, President and CEO of Libra Management Group and the visionary behind the conference, hosted a press conference on Wednesday.
So this is the main reason the conference started, because I felt like there was a gap in the ease of doing business here, and it's really difficult to maneuver and get the pertinent things. I think things have definitely improved over the years, but I think definitely there has to be cultural awareness. That's why we start with the awareness and education piece with people. So we start prepping them before they come that, okay, you're going into a different environment.
According to the organizer, the event will be divided into 3 areas.
So I focus on 3 phases. Phase 1 is the awareness and education, where we host a lot of webinars, in-person meet and greets, and info sessions about why Guyana and why Guyana now. So phase 2 for me was the immersion piece. Like, people really needed to come to see. And I wanted to do it where I consider it to be what I call small group, big impact, not a conference of like 500 people, because I wanted to put forward a different idea about how we conference to get the resources that we need. So what's incorporated into our conference in the immersion piece is we actually have an on-the-ground bus tour where we spend the 3rd day of the conference. Day 1 and day 2 is about the education and interaction with local stakeholders. And then we go on a bus tour, we go all around Guyana.
Moreover, some 70% of business owners from the Guyanese diaspora will be at this event.
About 70% are Guyanese diaspora. Well, 60%, I would say 60% is Guyanese diaspora. And then the other folks are from different Caribbean community and Americans as well.
Okay, and how many businesses and investors are on board?
Yeah, 75. Everybody that's coming is a business owner.
Okay.
We only target business owners. So we target people who are not only interested in moving, but you're a business owner.
Michael Henry, The Evening News.
Coming up, over $1.6 billion in contracts awarded for construction of 87 roads in Blackbush Polder, and peppers from Shade House Project to be available soon.
The oil and gas industry is helping to transform safety standards across all sectors of Guyana. The government and industry leaders are pioneering safer offshore oil production with new legislation, updated policies, and state-of-the-art floating production, storage, and offloading vessels.
Guys, I think I'm in love! Wow!
Yeah, I was looking at you too.
What? What are you talking about? I'm in the tiles. Where did you get them?
Oh, Mima Decor, obviously the best tile store in Guyana. Come, let me take you there.
My kitchen, my bathroom, my floors. Mima Decor has everything. And the prices are great too.
So, yeah, I want to have a date now.
We can build on that.
Feeling lucky? With Digicel, you could be one of 4 lucky millionaires. That's right, Digicel is giving away millions. Top up with $1,000 or more, and you will be automatically entered into a draw for a chance to win $1 million weekly. Don't wait. Top up today, and you could be one of Digicel's 4 lucky millionaires. Top up now, and who knows, you might just hit the jackpot with Digicel. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
It's a new day with Shilling Oil. A unique blend of natural oils to help ease and soothe the day-to-day discomforts of life. Get relief from muscle and joint pain, headaches, and congestion. Shilling Oil lets you get back to the things you love doing most. Water relief with Shilling Oil. Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. A fire of so far unknown origin erupted at a storage barn of Sankar's Trading Auto Sales in Erie Hall, Region 2, Pomeroon, Suriname at around 3:15 hours today, resulting in losses of approximately $100 million. The storage barn, located just behind the business owner's home, was completely engulfed in flames before firefighters arrived at the scene. The businessman, Tony Sankar, explained during an interview with this newscast that he was asleep when he was suddenly awoken by a phone call from a neighbor informing him that his storage barn is in flames. The fire destroyed a range of valuable items, including 2 unregistered trucks, 3 canters, 1,500 used tires with rims, engines for cars, and new ATV bikes. Sankar noted that the storage barn was uninsured, compounding the severity of the situation. He further noted that the facility was powered by solar energy. Investigations are ongoing to determine the cause of the fire. We now tell you that 2 men have been charged for killing a pet dog, and a date for the trial has been set. Our BERBICE correspondent Andrew Carmichael has the details.
The duo appeared before Magistrate Tuana Hardy at the number 51 Magistrates Court on Wednesday and pleaded not guilty to the charge. 71-year-old Kemraj Ramdas, a U.S. citizen of number 63 Village Quarantine, and 25-year-old Furad Jarawan, a carpenter of number 64 Village Quarantine, Berbice, are charged under Section 176(1) of the Summary Jurisdiction Act, Chapter 802, as amended by Act No. 10 of 1998. It is alleged that they killed a dog belonging to Gomati Kurodeo of number 63 Village Quarantine on October 11th at number 63 Village. The charge is animal cruelty committed on Gomati Kurodeo. When the case was called and the charge was initially read, it claimed that the animal was state-owned. However, Kurodeo told the court that the animal was her pet and not a stray. She said that there was also a post-mortem report by a veterinary officer, and that was given to the police. The magistrate asked for the case to be adjourned and the prosecution to make the necessary amendments. When those were made and the charge was reread, the 2 pleaded not guilty. The court was told that the defendants cut the animal's neck and then threw the body into a nearby canal. The prosecutor, Corporal Fiona Simpson, told the court that Ramdas admitted to killing the animal and there was an eyewitness. She objected to defendants being granted bail, saying that one of them is a flight risk. However, Attorney-at-Law Rodwell Jagmohan, representing the 2, argued that they were both granted station bail and attended court. He said Ramdas has been in the country since July and will only leave to upkeep his citizenship or for medical reasons. Before setting bail, the magistrate said the charge carries a 6-month jail term and a $15,000 fine.
Animal cruelty is not something that is highlighted much. However, many persons do suffer from this crime. Animal activist Gobin Harbichan says that persons who feel that their animals are being cruel could report it to the police.
As an animal activist for cruelty, I've been fighting cases like this for a while now, but finally one of the cases is finally going to the court. You know, that's to show the public that there is animal cruelty law in Guyana. And if there is advantage taken with animal, please report it to the nearest police station or get some evidence and send them. Person can be charged and placed before the court for ill-treatment of animal.
There are concerns over the involvement of a senior police officer in this matter. Initially, when this matter was reported, 2 persons were arrested, including an overseas-based Guyanese. One of the 2 was released from police custody. It was not until an assistant police commissioner and several other animal activists got involved that police rearrested the person, and subsequently the matter came before the court.
Meanwhile, the court set bail at $120,000 each. Ramdas also had to lodge his U.S. passport. They have to return to court on October 23rd for a police progress report and on October 30th for trial. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Residents of Region 6, East Berbice Quarantine, specifically in Blackbush Polder, will soon experience a transformative change with the construction of new community roads. In this Trishelle Sobers report, we hear that a total of $1.6 billion in contracts for roads were recently awarded to more than 30 small contractors.
During community engagements on Wednesday, Public Works Minister Juan Edel informed residents that 25 roads to the tune of $396 million will be constructed in Lesby Holding North, while Lesby Holding South will get 18 roads worth $263 million. He further noted that Maibikuri North will get 19 roads worth $284 million, and Maibikuri South will get 25 roads worth $350 million. Additionally, some 19 roads in Maibikuri South are being rehabilitated and upgraded. According to Jagu, this aggressive program being undertaken by the government is expected to bring relief to residents.
I don't think in the history of road construction and development this has ever happened in a community. In all of Blackbush Polder, on this go round, we're doing 108 projects. 108. And somebody might say, but I didn't hear this street called. The streets that are being built here are streets that are being built with rigid pavement, concrete. And I will let Mr. Gansham, our senior engineer up here, come and explain to you the methodology so you will know what to expect. But there are some gaps that exist because we can't have the whole Blackbush Polder locked down. You have to be able to left space for people to still move while construction is taking place. So what is not done in this phase will be done in the next phase.
The government's investment in the Blackbush Polder area is part of a broader national infrastructure development plan aimed at improving connectivity and fostering economic growth in rural communities. Minister Jagu reaffirmed the government's commitment to delivering quality infrastructural projects that enhance the well-being of residents across the country.
Both contractors and residents, we want to say to you, let's do this together. Let us ensure the community is taken care of. And we want all these projects to be finished by December 15th. For Christmas, everybody in Lesby Holden must be smiling. The roads must be fixed. If your entrance is interrupted, there are provisions in the contract for the restoration of your entrance as is.
Since assuming office in August 2020, the People's Progressive Party Civic Administration has expended billions for the construction of 4,000 roads in Region 6. Of that number, some 475 structures were constructed in Blackbush Polder. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
About 70% of the 100 shade houses being constructed by the National Agriculture Research and Extension Institute, NARI, through the Ministry of Agriculture for the growing of peppers have been completed, and some farmers have already commenced planting. Caroy Williams reports that NARI has been providing the plants to the farmers at no cost. Here is that story.
Region 6 Chairman David Armagon says very soon farmers in the Crabwood Creek area should be able to produce pepper under the Pepper Shade House project. He informed the RDCs that most of the shade houses have been completed and some farmers have already started to plant. The vegetables can start bearing 6 weeks after the seedlings are planted. The project is mainly targeting female farmers. Each shade house has the capacity to grow 400 pepper plants. At the launch of the project, the minister assures that the ministry will find the market for farmers and ensures that they get a fair price for their produce. The peppers produced will be processed at the Umani Agro-Processing Facility in Blackbush Polder, which exports its products to Europe and other markets. Having all of the farmers in one area is expected to make it conducive for Umani to go and purchase all of their produce. Arrangements have been put in place to ensure that the company gets a steady supply of peppers. Meanwhile, let's hear from some farmers who have already commenced planting.
The pepper probably, I don't know, he might get a market to sell it. We also plant and we help people in the village too, right? Because we normally collect the mold from the people in the village. So if we have bits and give back. And then we normally we do programs and so. So we use, but most likely, all depends on how the crops come. Then sometimes they get disease, you got to spray them and things. It depends on the market.
The shade house, where they come and they set it up, get workers to set it up. It was good, set up good. Then I received pepper plant, which I plant. And everything is okay. It's very beneficial for me because as a single mother, because I have to benefit my child off of it. So it is. We plant about like 5 acres of land in Malson Creek, sweet pepper though, not the hot pepper.
What you do with the pepper?
Sell it at local market.
Oh, to the local market?
Yes.
So the people come and buy it from you, or you just
Yes, yes. No, the people that come and buy something, we took it at the market too.
You ever had a situation whereby you can't find market for your pepper?
No, no.
For some like Kumar Tulsi, who is a person living with a disability, he had been engaged in the cultivation of hot peppers prior to the project. He is grateful now for the assistance from NARI.
The sun heat was too much, and the shed house helping me a lot with the heat that you can see and all, that we are actually under the shed house heat and showing you what is it in this thing. But everything's are going well and nice, and we want to know that we plant some tomatoes here, that you could see that it's coming well, and we get the pepper coming well.
Meanwhile, Nita Dianot of Crabwood Creek has about 3 acres cultivated with peppers.
We didn't have the market, and they die out. The pepper tree, the pepper kill out the tree then.
So you weren't picking the pepper?
Because we didn't have market for it.
Is there a market now for pepper?
Well, right now we did have market, but there is no pepper.
This place, Humani, have they been buying pepper?
I don't know, that way in Blackbush. Then buy one time from the inland, they never buy back, They never buy back, they buy pepper and cucumber. And they never have buy back from home.
So where is the market that you have? Where?
Local. The people then come down from Georgetown and then buy. Like Starbuck Market, they sell. They sell Border Market, stuff like that. Then they sell Bath Settlement and so. Them small market. We didn't have a bigger market like the pepper export. No.
Kelroy Williams, Evening News.
Guyanese-Canadian scholar Dr. PREITY Kumar has launched her first book about violence against women in Guyana, particularly those belonging to the LGBTQ+ community. Michael Henry reports that the book is entitled An Ordinary Landscape of Violence, Women Loving Women in Guyana.
Published in July this year, the book An Ordinary Landscape of Violence, Woman Loving Woman in Guyana is a thought-provoking piece of literature that sheds light on the struggles faced by women enduring gender-based violence in Guyana. The book, authored by Guyanese-Canadian scholar Dr. PREITY Kumar, was officially launched in Guyana on Thursday at Moray House in Georgetown. According to Kumar, her work was inspired by the perilous experiences mainly of 2 women in Guyana. However, it shines light on various social research on violence against women in the country.
In this book, you will see me asking questions about what would it mean for us to think about violence beyond the physical, beyond the visible, beyond the spectacular. What would it mean to think of violence already embedded in the landscape that we're part of, or spaces that we're part of, and already present in our relationship, rather than a singular event. In 2019, for example, Guyana Women's Health and Life Experiences Survey indicated that 55% of all Guyanese women ages 15 to 64 have experienced at least one form of violence. For a country with less than 500,000, the United Nations report that Guyana has the highest rate of femicide in the Caribbean region, and that 85% of Guyanese women are often murdered by an intimate partner.
On that note, Kumar revealed that attempts are being made to have the book in various universities. Currently, a collaboration with the Guyana's Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination has been established with the aim of enlightening students about the issues outlined in the book.
I'm starting to collaborate with UG right now, the Institute for Gender Studies, and hopefully we will develop that program and that will be accessible to university students.
We're collaborating with Professor Tavis Jules at Loyola University to do research next year looking at anti-gender violence and how in schools and how it affects LGBTQ teachers and students. And I think that's going to be a very important study for us to get information about what's really happening in schools around this kind of bias violence. And we don't have a lot of information, right? We just document reports when we hear about incidents and so on. But we also need to delve into that a little bit more about why is this anti-gender violence manifesting itself in the school system.
Currently, the book is available for purchase on Amazon. Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is expected to be closed to vehicular traffic on Friday, October 18, 2024 at 3 hours 45 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the BERBICE River Bridge is expected to be closed to vehicular traffic on Friday, October 18, 2024 at 16 hours 35 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Mendes guides Sri Lanka to T20 Series victory, and Sinclair's 5-wicket haul leads BERBICE to victory. These stories and more coming up in this evening's newscast, sponsored by Macor.
Hi, I'm Timothy Ramjan, and this is Macor Rental. We have the right equipment and generator for your coming project. Call me on 698-8116. Macor, let's do the work.
Need quality electrical or hardware supplies for domestic, commercial, and industrial usage? Visit SPR Enterprise. We stock a wide variety of tools, transformers, connectors, cables, line hardware, and control products at competitive prices. Check us out for brands such as Square D, Eaton, Fluke, Klein, and 3M. We are located at 45 Brick Dam, Georgetown, or call us on 223-5699, 223-5687, or WhatsApp 639-7193. SPR Enterprise, your single source for quality electrical products.
Moving, lifting, or bending, whatever the job, we at Sylvie's Variety Store have the right tools to make it happen. Pallet jacks and hand trucks for bonds and industrial sites, easy pickup and convenient maneuvers. Chain hoist from Roughneck and Northern Industrial, the perfect solution to lifting heavy objects. And then there's the 12-ton and 16-ton hydraulic pipe benders from 1/2 to 2 inch. We also stock the shop press machine from Northern Industrial. Sylvie's Variety Store stocks the tools to make it happen.
Feeling lucky? With Digicel, you could be one of 4 lucky millionaires. That's right, Digicel is giving away millions. Top up with $1,000 or more, and you will be automatically entered into a draw for a chance to win $1 million weekly. Don't wait. Top up today, and you could be one of Digicel's 4 lucky millionaires. Top up now, and who knows, you might just hit the jackpot with Digicel. Digicel, the network for everyone, every